Hey, if you're just coming on, my name is Dov Baron, founder of FullMontyLeadership.com. You can also find me at Entrepreneur Magazine, entrepreneur.com. I write for Entrepreneur Magazine, CEO, and a bunch of other places like Medium, Thrive Global, which is Ariana Huffington's place, LinkedIn, and you can find me on Twitter at the Dov Baron, on LinkedIn Dov Baron, and of course, please check out matrix.fullmontyleadership.com, matrix.fullmontyleadership.com, where you can get your self-assessment, leadership self-assessment, absolutely free. It's $197 value, absolutely free to you for being a regular viewer on my show right here. I'm going to jump right in because I know many people watch this as an encore, so I want to dive right in and talk about what I want to talk about today. I want to actually share with you a story that is not mine, that actually was written by a great writer, Richard Bach, one of my favorite authors of all time. And it goes like this. There are some creatures who live at the bottom of the stream. And like all creatures that live at the bottom of the stream, they live their lives clinging to the rocks because the current that washes over them would carry them away. So in order to live in that community, they cling to the rocks at the bottom of the stream. And each one of them lives out their entire life clinging to the rocks at the base of the stream. That's all they know, is to cling to the things that surround them. But one day, one of the creatures at the bottom of the stream decides that this is not the way to live, that suspects that maybe there's more to life than clinging to the rocks, and talks to his friends who are also creatures that live at the bottom of the creek and says, I think I should let go. And his friend says, don't be crazy. If you let go of clinging to the rocks, you will certainly be smashed to pieces upon the rocks of which we cling. And he says, I know, but I really feel like the need to let go of that. But then he gets warned again and again and again, do not let go of the rocks. If you let go of the rocks, you'll be smashed to pieces on the very rocks of which we cling to. The current will smash you to pieces. So he continues to cling to the rocks for years. And then one day he can bear it no longer. He says, I'm gonna let go of the rocks. And he says, if you do it, if you let go of the rocks, you'll be smashed to pieces. He says, I know, but I just can't cling any longer. And so he lets go. And sure enough, they're right. He's smashed on the rocks from one rock to the next. The current picks him up and smashes him into another rock. He picks him up again and smashes him into another rock. But eventually, he's no longer smashed upon the rocks. Eventually, he's carried in the current above the rocks. And as he flies across the stream, carried by the current, he stops fighting the current, relaxes, and is carried across. And then the creatures in the next sort of area where the creatures of the stream cling to the rocks look up, and they see him fly by, carried safely on the current. And they look up and they say, wow, see, he's a Messiah. He's an angel. He can fly on top of the stream. Praise to the Great One. Where are you clinging? Where are you clinging to the rocks? Where is it that your soul cries out for you to let go, but you don't, because everybody around you, everybody who surrounds you, tells you you're crazy to cling to the rocks, that you will be smashed to pieces if you let go of the things that you cling to. And here's the news, when you let go, you will feel like you're going to be smashed upon the rocks. You may even feel like you're being smashed upon the rocks, but you will have to not cling in order to fly. You will have to let go in order to fly. They'll tell you you're crazy. They will. They'll tell you you're crazy. Let me put it to you another way. What language do you speak? What language do you actually speak? Let's imagine that you grow up in a place where all they speak is the language of fear. That's the language. That's the national language of the country that you grow up in. Everywhere you go, everybody you meet speaks fluent fear. Everybody you meet speaks fluent fear. But you decide that maybe there's another language. And so you want to learn to speak hope. You want to speak joy. You want to learn how to speak courage. So you decide that you're going to speak courage. But everybody you speak to in the land of fear only speaks fear. They look at you like you're crazy. You're insane. What are you doing? What are you talking about? I don't understand. What is this language you're speaking? You're speaking courage? I don't understand. I don't understand you. Why don't you speak our language? Why don't you speak like a native person? Why don't you speak like all the rest of us? Eventually, you might stop speaking courage. You might start speaking fear, just so you feel included. Or you'll have to let go of all the people around you and the surroundings where everybody speaks fear. And you'll probably have to go to another land. You'll have to go to a place where the people speak courage, where they speak hope, where they speak faith. The question is, do you have the courage to stick to that part of you? That part of you that is your soul, that wants you to let go of the rocks that you cling to, that wants you to let go of the language of fear and speak hope, speak faith, speak courage, so that you can fly. But before you fly, you will be banged on the rocks. You can be pretty certain of that. But if you keep speaking faith and hope and courage, who knows, maybe one day they'll say you were the Messiah, you were an angel, you were able to fly. The truth of the matter is that we can all fly if we start clinging to the rocks. That we can all speak courage. But it takes courage to speak courage. It takes strength, it takes tenacity, it takes commitment to not return to the old language of fear. That's all. That's the lesson for tonight. Dov Baron, FullMontyLeadership.com, challenging you to stay curious, my friends. Stay curious about how you're clinging to the rocks. And that maybe you have let go, and maybe you're feeling pretty battered right now. But maybe that's the journey to flying. Keep speaking courage, my friend. Until next time, this is Dov Baron, FullMontyLeadership.com. Come check me out on FullMontyLeadership.com and all the other places you can find me. I look forward to seeing you next time with Dov Baron. Until next time, Dov Baron, Full Monty Leadership. Stay curious, my friends. Stay curious. I am out.